Welcome back to another Royal Airways video, and today we're going to be discussing how you can fix the lagging and stuttering issue. Now, most of the time with the new sim updates, errors can happen, and they're really easy to fix just by looking them up on YouTube. Is what exactly you're saying right now. Anyway, before I run my game, sometimes I always do this lag test, and as you can see here, some pretty horrible lag and just minor stuttering issues. Now, everyone wants to fix this. No one likes lag, and it can be especially terrible if you're trying to take off, right? Now I'm just gonna apply full throttle. We're gonna take off small, softly, and beautifully. And hold on. Just let me do something real quick. I just need to go into the sound and make sure this is off. I just can't barely hear myself. Okay, anyway, and when you're taking off, just gonna do some minor things and take off. And you're trying to look around, scope out thingies, and it's just laggy, and it can be worse for landing too, but you clearly want to fix this, so let's pause the game and go and discuss the reasons. Now, number one, either your game is not optimized or your PC specs doesn't match the needed specs. And by looking at the Steam recommended specs, I don't think anyone would have a problem with this game, because most of the time you would be running them on low graphics, right? Let's take a trip to graphics lane. Now, I'm using medium graphics, which is pretty low because I don't really care about the highest graphics possible and overheating my GPU, but pretty pretty stable with that. And oh, well, what's the lag issue? Everything looks perfectly fine, nothing to look wrong. The render scaling looks fine. Well, just a little bit down, you'll see this. I'm on DirectX 12, and um, even though I have an RTX card and my card is made for the ultimate version, I don't think Flight Sim is made for DirectX 12 yet. So if you just do one flick of a switch, turn that on, restart your game. Alright, you're probably going to be running back into Flight Sim right now after it. So now we're just going to wait until we get to the main menu and do our lag test. Alright, let's go ahead and start up a game real quick. And so you can see we're running pretty good on those frames, which is a good thing for right now. And we're going to go ahead and go to the midway. Load her up and just wait. Alright, let's go in. Alright, so first off, you're not really experiencing any problems, and there you go. No more lag, no more stuttering, no more anything. It's wonderful. You're probably really happy. But sometimes this never works, and you might always be on the DirectX 11. Now, this video is not going to be using anything with registry info and stuff because no one wants to mess with files that could break your computer, and that is just too much to deal with. But for graphics, if it's still doing bad stuff that you don't want it to do, you could just turn off VSync. It will screen tear, but it will give you more frames, or you can just go to 100 for render scaling because that works the most for me. Or you can do this too and resume and go to this page. Now this is the optimization page and stuff. Pretty cool. This is where you can do your edits and stuff and how good you want the game to be, and optimize your settings. Make sure they're good, and yeah, make sure the render scaling is 100. And my optimization settings is this if you want to copy it down or whatever is optimal for your computer. And yeah, basically just that. And always make sure you have your game optimized. This is how you basically fix out all the small details and the big details. So really, there's nothing else that could just harm your flight sim and make it all laggy. But the last thing we can possibly be doing is making sure there's not one large detail out of the way. Now the last thing you could possibly do is going back into options, general options, and down to the data center. And what you could do here is turn off photogrammetry, or whatever how it's spelled. And basically this will remove all cities and trees and buildings and obstructory. And let's just go back to a more like detailed place. Let's just cope out at near one of these mountains. Let's go about here, do our little graphics test that we always be doing, and it is gonna look ugly, but it's still gonna look fine enough for it to be scenery and stuff. Now, you are gonna get more frames, but it doesn't look half bad, I would say. Basically just gonna be flying around. You can test all these graphic runs, see how everything's going. Pretty normal. Nothing too big. And yeah, that's basically it. That's all the reasons I can be doing. If you're looking for more complex stuff like the registry info, you can go ahead and check out a different video. I will not link any in the description because I haven't done my research yet. But make sure you subscribe because we're really trying to grow our channel right now and our Discord server. So, um, also thanks for 30 subs. That's my most ever subs. That's wonderful. Maybe we can get to 100 one day. Probably not though. Alright, goodbye.